We love a good mystery here at Bird Dog Gaming, and I still want to know what happened to Mushroom Men on Wii. But today we're here to talk about an eBay sale for a Nintendo 3DS game that, as far as I can tell, should not exist. Big thank you to the true collectors who support this channel. You guys are my favorite people on the internet. And a big shout out to Jeremy C from my Discord for shedding some light on this recent eBay sale. Without further ado, here is the game in question. Shantae and the Pirate's Curse released on October 23rd, 2014 for 3DS and Wii U, and it was published by Rising Star Games. Obviously, Shantae is a classic way-forward property, and the series has seen a handful of sequels in recent years. This game would later be published by Limited Run Games for the PS4 and even later for the Nintendo Switch. Here's where things get crazy. Rising Star published the game on 3DS. Limited Run published the game on Nintendo Switch and PS4. So why on earth am I looking at a 3DS big box version of this game published by Limited Run Games? On November 8th of 2023, this game sold for the buy it now price of $200. The seller clearly knew this was an incredibly rare item, as they titled the listing Unreleased Shantae and the Pirate's Curse Limited Run Games Limited Edition for 3DS. As we scroll through the pictures here, we see this game honestly looks incredibly legitimate. Like, I have no doubt that this is an actual release that the boys at Limited Run made. So what's the story here? Looking at the description, the seller says, "Damaged box, check pics for damage. The photo of it opened is my personal copy, and the one that is listed is sealed. The game inside also comes sealed. I opened mine for picture purposes." That's right, going back to the pictures, we see that this seller has not one but two copies of this unreleased item. What? So here are the open pictures he's referencing. We can see, in addition to the 3DS game, this so-called collector's edition also comes with a Game Boy Color version of the game, a set of 3 photo cards, and an official soundtrack CD. What's worth noting on these items is that the soundtrack CD is copyrighted 2019, while the GBC box says 2023, and the big box itself is copyrighted 2018. We can note here that the GBC box is a variant to the Switch one from 2018, which obviously doesn't have a 2023 copyright. In fact, it has no copyright on the back of the box. What I also noticed here is that the 3DS game shown is a cartridge with the Rising Star Games logo on it, who I feel like shouldn't have had anything to do with this game. And to take it a step further, the game's USA code is identical to the Rising Star copies that are all over eBay, so that whole thing seems a little odd to me. Their logo is nowhere on the big box or the 3DS case, or anywhere else for that matter. I also need to point out that the manual and box art are completely different from the Rising Star release, the latter flaunting the Way Forward logo on the front and the LRG logo on the back. While we're here on the back of the box, this game also indicates that it would be 3DS game number 004 from Limited Run's library, which would place it in the 2023 timeframe, given the fact that the other 3 titles are obviously numbered 1, 2, and 3 and released before 2023. I've reached out to the seller, and despite having 100% positive feedback, he has yet to get back to be making this all the more sketchy. On the topic of reaching out to people, I've tried to @ Josh Fairhurst, the CEO of Limited Run Games, on Twitter, and he has not acknowledged my existence, so who the heck knows. I posted this information on Reddit and no one has a clue. This is all just one huge mystery. It blows my mind that the seller has 2 copies, but the really insane thing to me is, why would he sell one for a measly $200? With the amount of 3DS collectors and Shantae lovers out there, this would have easily sold for over $200 on auction. Not to mention, this contains an unreleased, slightly official Game Boy Color variant, which is objectively way more interesting than an unreleased 3DS game. Quick editor's note, it's currently November 16th and I'm finishing up my edits for this video, and what do I find on eBay? Another copy of this game sold by the same seller, this time a very clean sealed copy, and guess what? He's still got the CIB one in the background. So what's my theory here? There are a couple of options here. On one hand, there's a chance this was a prototype that was possibly stolen or just put into the wrong hands, and that individual decided to sell it, which quite possibly could be illegal, similar to those review copy PS Vita games published by Nicalis a few years ago. My second theory is that this game could be getting announced from Limited Run any day now, honestly. While it doesn't make sense for them to put out a game that already has a physical release, we can't put it past them to do something like this when A, they know they'll make a bunch of money, and B, there's no collector's edition of the game on 3DS, so that's an area of Shantae and the Pirate's Curse that's lacking. When I looked up the UPCs for both the 3DS game and the big box, nothing comes up. We really are at a dead end on this mystery, at least for now. But that's all I have for you on this gaming mystery. Be sure to subscribe for any future updates regarding the mystery, and I will see you guys right here on Bird Dog Gaming.